Joyride is the feature-length film debut of Adele Lim. It stars Ashley Park, Sherry Cola, Stephanie Sue, and Sabrina Wu. It follows four Asian American friends as they bond and discover the truth of what it means to know and love who you are. They travel through Asia in search of one of their birth mothers. Now, I've been trying to get into the mood of watching more comedies. As of late, I've been trying to see more what makes me laugh, as I've been more focused on like dramas or horror or big budget action movies and superhero films. And I figured, how about lately I just try to watch as many comedies. I plan to watch No Hard Feelings one of these days, but I wanted to see Joyride first, because that one looked the most appealing to me in terms of the way it was shot and look, how it was marketed, and the type of comedy it was. I figured, why not give this one a shot? And in my mind, this one was really funny. I thought this was a pretty entertaining comedy with good characters, pretty good heart at the center of it. And overall, I just had a really fun time at the theaters. It starts off as you expected from the trailers, and then it continues on as you expected from the trailers. And then it ends off in a way that you don't expect from the trailers. But I think it was able to handle these three acts pretty well, even when it does get a bit predictable on how it's going to go. I think it was still able to deliver a satisfying conclusion to everything. Also, let's start with the humor. The humor was really funny, 80% of the time. There was a good 20% where some of the jokes I just did not laugh at because I didn't find it funny, or some of the race jokes and Asian jokes and white people jokes just did not really resonate all that well with me. Those kind of jokes you have to be careful with, and I think they were careful with it. It's just that some of that wasn't really all that funny and never really got to me. And I think that's just because of personal preference. If you found the jokes pretty funny, good for you. It's just that there's a good 20% of the film where the jokes just did not really land for me. But for the most part, when it wants me to cringe, I cringe and a smile. When it wants me to laugh, I laugh pretty hard, and I got a good chuckle here and there too. The humor overall was pretty good, especially for a feature-length debut for a director. All the performances are great. I think all the actresses do a great job. Ashley Park was really good in the film as Aubrey. Sherry Cola was also pretty good, and these two characters together, I think their chemistry worked pretty well. Stephanie Hsu, who came off of the very successful Everything Everywhere All at Once, was really funny as Kat. I really like her character and what she's dealing with her boyfriend that she's trying to be engaged to. And Deadeyes was just a scene stealer. In some ways is the heart and soul of the film, as despite Deadeyes being the most socially awkward of the four girls, is also the most down-to-earth also, and really comes into her own at the end as a pretty fun character to be around and someone who you want to root for. All the other characters start off as really flawed people, and they have to eventually learn to notice their flaws, accept some of their flaws, or try to resolve some issues and things that they discussed in the past. And I think they were able to handle all those elements of these characters pretty well. And definitely, as I said, the scene stealer, Sabrina's character Deadeyes, I think she represents that the most here. And I think her banter with all the other characters worked very well in that regard. The film looks really good. I love it when comedies decide to have pretty good cinematography, good color and lighting. It just makes the film pop out even more, have a bit more style to it. The music is never overgrading. It works very well for what it's trying to do. What this movie is mostly aiming towards is trying to make you have a good time. I think with good directing overall, like this is a really well put together film, really well edited. The pacing never really dragged all that much, despite a few hiccups here and there in the beginning of the film where some of the humor just didn't land for me and can sometimes drag because of that. Then on, the pacing is pretty good for the most part. And as I said, the directing, because of that, is really well done. The characters are all really fleshed out. The dramatic elements, the more emotional moments of the film, actually worked pretty well by the end of the film. And you were able to care for all these characters. You felt like you got to know them. A lot of the humor is really adult, really raunchy. I would not recommend your entire family to go see this film. It is not that kind of movie. This is a movie that you see a lot of teenagers go with their friends to go watch, especially teenage girls, I believe. I believe this is well within that demographic. All in all, this was a pretty funny film. I had a good time with it, and I'm going to give Joyride a B+. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.